Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your trusted source for expert guidance on aging safely and independently. Whether you're a caregiver, a family member, or a senior looking to stay secure at home and beyond, we've got you covered. From fall prevention and home modifications to financial safety and scam awareness, we provide practical tips to help you or your loved ones live with confidence. Tune in and empower yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate the challenges of aging. Let's make safety simple.
Hello, and welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, where we tackle the important topics that help seniors and their families navigate life with confidence and peace of mind. I'm your host, Robin Schultz, and today we're exploring a topic that's not just practical, it's really critical. Estate planning essentials, wills, trusts, and powers of attorney. Now, I know that estate planning might sound like one of those things you'll get to later, but trust me, this is one conversation you don't want to postpone. So grab a cup of coffee and settle in, and let's demystify the process together. Let's start with the big question. Why does estate planning matter? Well, imagine this. You've worked hard all your life, saved up for retirement, maybe even built a little nest egg for your loved ones. But without proper planning, your assets could end up tangled in legal red tape or distributed in ways you never intended. Estate planning isn't just about money. It's about ensuring that your wishes are honored. It's about protecting your loved ones from unnecessary stress during an already emotional time. And most importantly, it's about giving yourself peace of mind. Here's a startling fact. According to a recent survey by Caring.com, a significant number of Americans, approximately 2 out of 3, do not have a will in place. This means that only about 33% of adults in the United States have an estate plan. And that means 2/3 of us are leaving our legacies up to the state to decide what happens. You do not want to be part of that statistic. So today we're breaking it down into 3 key components: wills, trusts, and powers of attorney. Think of these as building blocks of a solid estate plan. First up is the will. A will is like the instruction manual for your assets after you're gone. It outlines who gets what: your home, your savings accounts, family heirlooms, everything you've worked hard for. But here is the kicker. If you don't have a will, the state decides how your assets are distributed through something called intestate succession laws. And spoiler alert, it may not align with your wishes. A will also lets you appoint an executor. This is the person who ensures everything is carried out as you've specified. And if you have minor children or dependents, you can name a guardian in your will to take care of them. One thing to remember, not all assets go through a will. For example, life insurance policies, payouts, and jointly owned property typically bypass the probate process entirely, so it's really crucial to review how all of your assets are titled. Here's an example. A friend of ours thought his life insurance policy would automatically go to his kids because he had a will, but it turns out he hadn't updated his beneficiary designation after his divorce. So guess what? His ex-spouse was still listed as the beneficiary. That was definitely not who he wanted to get his assets if he passed away. Next up are trusts. So if wills are the foundation of estate planning, trusts are like the deluxe upgrade. A trust allows you to manage how your assets are distributed during your lifetime and after you've gone. There are 2 main types of trusts, revocable and irrevocable. A revocable trust, also known as a living trust, can be changed or canceled during your lifetime. It's great for flexibility, but doesn't offer much protection from creditors or taxes. An irrevocable trust, on the other hand, is set in stone once it's created, but it can shield assets from creditors and reduce taxes. The beauty of trusts? They avoid probate entirely. This means faster distribution to heirs and less public scrutiny. The drawback is they are typically more expensive to put in place than a will is. Nevertheless, if you're thinking about setting up a trust but aren't sure where to start, consult with an estate planning attorney. They'll help tailor it to your specific needs. All right, now let's talk about powers of attorney, or POAs for short. A POA designates someone you trust to make decisions on your behalf if you're unable to do so yourself. There are two main types: a financial power of attorney. This person handles money matters, paying bills, managing investments, and even selling property if needed. And medical power of attorneys. This person makes healthcare decisions for you if you're incapacitated. Here's why this is critical. Without a POA in place, your family might have to go through court proceedings to gain control over these decisions, a process that can be both costly and time-consuming. A friend of mine knows a family who could not access their mother's bank account after she was diagnosed with dementia and was moved into a memory care facility because there were no financial POAs in place. They ended up spending more than 2 years and thousands of dollars of their own money just trying to pay mom's bills. Now let's talk about some common mistakes people make when it comes to estate planning and how you can avoid them. Number 1 is not updating your documents. Life changes. There's marriages, divorces, new grandchildren, so your estate plan should change with it. Renew it every 3 to 5 years or after major life events. And I should have said review. Review it every 3 to 5 years or after a major life event. Number 2 is a DIY disaster. So there are online will maker templates, and they can save you money up front. The problem is they often miss state-specific nuances that could actually render them invalid. Number 3 is ignoring digital assets. Don't forget about online accounts. I'm talking about social media profiles, but also things like cryptocurrency wallets and just strictly online bank accounts. You want to make sure someone knows how to access them. And number 4 is procrastination. The biggest mistake of all is not starting at all. Remember, estate planning isn't just for seniors, it's for anyone who wants control over their legacy. Alrighty folks, here's your homework. Number 1, make a list of all your assets, your bank accounts, your real estate, your investments, cryptocurrency. Number 2 is decide who you trust as an executor or a POA, power of attorney. Number 3 is to schedule a meeting with an estate planning attorney or a financial advisor. And if you already have an estate plan, well, make sure to give it a quick review this weekend because you'll thank yourself later. Also, one other thing, I didn't know this, but if you move from one state to another, you need to revise your will. If you have one in place in Florida and you move to Georgia, it may not be valid anymore, so definitely think about that as well. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode on estate planning essentials. Remember that estate planning isn't just about completing paperwork, it's about protecting what matters most, your family and your legacy. If you found this episode helpful, or you know someone who needs a little nudge to start their own estate plan, please share this podcast with them. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode packed with tips and advice tailored just for you. Until next time, stay safe and take care. Bye.
That's it for today's episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, helping you and your loved ones stay safe, independent, and informed. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with others who could benefit. For more expert tips and resources, visit seniorsafetyadvice.com. And remember, staying safe starts with staying informed. Until next time, take care and stay safe.